How they hanging down, dudes? It's me, the Media Raptor, and welcome back to another episode of the Media Raptor Reviews. 2 reviews. This one and one more, and we're at episode 175. Wow. So you know what? Let's talk about a really good movie. Let's talk about Black Panther, the 2018 newest Marvel movie. And did it live up to all the hype? Did it live up to what people were saying it being Marvel's best movie? Is it truly the revolutionary film we've been waiting for? Yeah, it's great. You know, there are some things I'm not going to talk about in this review. Let me state this right now. A lot of the stuff about empowerment and stuff like that, I don't understand. So you know what? I'm not going to talk about it. I don't believe it's my place to talk about it. I don't believe I'm the right person to talk about it. But let's talk about why this movie is awesome on its own. So, let's talk about the main character himself, T'Challa, the Black Panther. Great dude. Marvel's making good characters in their movies. One thing they've always been able to get right is to make characters likable. Sure, Tony Stark, he's not the most likable anymore after the events of Civil War, Iron Man 3. It's arguable that he's been kind of a jerk sometimes. People don't like him in Iron Man 2, although it's probably my favorite of the whole MCU, or one of my favorites. But from there, we got stuff like Captain America, Thor in the Dark World and Ragnarok, Ant-Man. We're getting main characters. Not only do we want to follow, we want them to succeed, but we want to see more of them because they're good guys. And it's not just we're going to go save the day because we're heroes. It's more stuff like we're going to do good things because we want to be good people. We want to help people. Not just because we're superheroes, but because it's the right thing to do. And that gets major points for me. When you look at stuff like DC, and I hate taking shots at DC movies because I want to like them. A lot of the time in those movies, and like Justice League, it's just, hey, by the way, there's a guy who's going to kill everyone, let's save the world because we're heroes. Not, we can really change the world here and be good people, let's team up that reason. And yes, sure, the Avengers did technically join up because the world was threatened, but at the same time, on their own, they're all good people. They all do good things, and Black Panther is no exception. He's a king, he's a wise ruler, he's a nice guy. He's willing to listen to bad ideas and tolerate them, even willing at one point to give a man a chance to kill him and take the throne. I'm not going into spoilers. But yeah, he's a really good guy. His sister is a great character, and she was really entertaining to watch. All the characters in this movie are great, even the villains. Dr. Claw, Claw. Eustachius Claw, or I'm just going to call him Dr. Claw. Gadget! Sorry, couldn't resist. Is hilarious. He's probably one of the funniest villains that the MCU has. Eric Killmonger is a really good villain, not just because he's cool, he's a good fighter, and he's got a Triceratops mask, so, points for me because Dino Dudes, rock on, bro, you have my respect from now till ever, but because they got the whole sympathetic villain right, finally. Marvel has tried multiple times to have a villain you'll feel bad for because something sucks in their life and you're going to feel bad about it. Here they finally got it right. And the thing is, I don't want to spoil what the big point is because it would ruin a good part of the movie. And part of the reason why it works so well is the characters grow. T'Challa, he grows a lot throughout the movie. And I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to, but it works. There is real character development in this movie alone. And it's character growth that makes sense, that seems logical, that this character would go through. And it's not just the plot that's good, the pacing is great. At no point in this movie did I sit there and think, I'm kind of bored. Because keep in mind, Black Panther, it's not a short movie. In fact, it is a far bit longer than some of the other Marvel movies you might see. But they give you enough stuff. They give you awesome action, great characters, and for every great action scene, when it cuts back to people, you might be thinking, oh, great. It's like the Star Wars prequels. We finally get something good, and then we're slammed back into people. No. When it cuts back to the people, it's for a reason. It's to continue building these characters, continue building this world, and making things better. raising the stakes, giving you a reason to care. Hang on. Yeah, Black Panther clocks in at 2 hours and 14 minutes, nearly 2.5 hours. But at no point in this movie did I ever sit there and think, this scene could be cut. Everything about this movie is great. From start to finish. It's entertaining, it is action-packed. It has some of the most unique and creative fight scenes I've seen in a while, and I'm always down for creativity. If you know in the trailer, there's the whole car chase scene when they're running on the cars. It is just as awesome as you would ever hope it could be. You've got great characters who are relatable, a villain who you both fear and sympathize with, and an ending that really kind of gets you thinking, it's sad that this is the way it has to be, but it's still a good ending. Now, part of why this movie is so great is the acting. There is not a single bad actor in the entire movie. Hang on. So yes, Chadwick Boseman, he has played Black Panther before. He was in Civil War. The dude was awesome. Michael B. Jordan. Now, when I saw that name, I knew it from somewhere. He was in Creed, which I don't fully remember that well, but what I think most people will remember him for was Fantastic Four, that horrible remake. And the thing is, he totally finally is able to go, you guys can forget about that movie, because I'm in a good Marvel movie now. He plays Eric Killmonger, he plays him perfectly, as a man who is determined, savage, and yet still human. And honestly, I think it's great that the Marvel gave him another shot, because really, if I was in Fantastic Four, I would hope for a better chance to be in a good Marvel movie, because that one, jeez, it was horrible. But it's not just those two. Every single actor turns in a great performance. I want to check something here, because this has been bothering me for a while. Right, it's Andy Serkis who plays Claw, the same guy who's done pretty much every good motion capture that has ever been a thing. So yeah, he pulls off a fantastic performance. Martin Freeman. This is the guy I was trying to remember what he was in. Yeah, so Bilbo and Gollum are in this movie together again. They both put in fantastic roles. But perhaps what makes this movie even better than the great story, the great acting, is the fact that now the special effects have gotten to a point where I'm having a hard time telling what is practical and what is CG. I'm not making that up. When we're in Wakanda, not only is the set design one of the most unique, creative, and beautiful things to look at, the CG is so good I'm actually trying to figure out what they did, what was real and what was fake. Yes, most of the clothing you can quite tell is real because they put a lot of time and effort into it. The makeup, the costume, the Black Panther costumes, you can tell they're real. But then with the cities and stuff, I have to wonder what is CG and what is miniatures, or what did they actually build? Excuse me, it just looks that good. If I really did have any real complaint about this movie, it's probably that the movie kind of seems to have sort of two plots going on. It sort of seems to kind of pull a Predator on you partway through and completely change everything. Now, I don't want to say why, because it would kind of spoil the movie, but if you're wondering why it's not a 4 Raptor Claw rating, it's because there was a pretty sudden in the plot all of a sudden, that it's good they do that because the rest of it is awesome, and the first part's awesome, but at the same time, you're kind of like, oh, that just came right out of nowhere. So I hope you understand if I give this a 3.5 or a 3 Raptor Claw rating. Now, the thing is, the music, I'm going to be honest, I don't like a lot of music nowadays. I think a lot of it is garbage. Most of what's popular nowadays is just trash. But man, this soundtrack is awesome. I want to get the score and I want to get the soundtrack because it is catchy, it is awesome, it is energetic. Music that actually energizes me to get moving, like when I'm running or something, that is the best type of music. And this movie is full of it. When we have action scenes and this music comes on, I was sitting there thinking, this is awesome. This is what I have been waiting for. This is everything I hoped this movie would be, and then some. Because as I mentioned, the car chase scene is awesome. The final fight between Killmonger and T'Challa, it is unique, it's creative, and it's a ton of fun to watch. You really don't know who's going to win, and that's what makes it so interesting. if you guys can't tell, I can totally recommend Black Panther. Giving it 3.5 Raptor claws out of 4, and it earned that. You guys, even if you're not a huge superhero fan, Dino Dudes, Black Panther is worth checking out. It is a good action movie. It's a great movie. And Marvel has been knocking it out of the park time and time and time again. And now, we face a slight problem. Coming up is their biggest challenge yet. They've been making fantastic movies for a decade now. But it's all been building to Infinity War. How's that gonna go? Well, I guess we'll find out when it comes out. Please don't suck. But until next time, you guys, this is the Media Raptor, once again saying keep cool, and I'll see all you Dino Dudes around. Later.